at a business doing upholstery, and this guy come down. I was like, "Would you like to learn this?" I was like, "Yes, I would. That's interesting. You come through, and there it is presented in front of me." So you never know. That's part of that factor in my head, like a visual picture. But to express that visual picture to the person that's paying for the job, wanting the work done, so they can okay it, is a hard thing to do. So the best way I could think of it was to draw. You know, if it's a vision only I can see in my head, I need to put it on paper. This is where I let people pick different designs and try to come up with different designs for the seats. You know, not to just put the same factory lines and stuff. That math I was talking about, being able to figure out the square foot cubic space within the box and get all the measurements to cut the wood right. Three-dimensional painting. I went from just doing the custom figures. I painted those little action figures, you know. So again, from drawing on a piece of paper to painting on a flat surface to painting a little figure. That one I was more impressed with, the samurai. He was a solid red G.I. Joe figure. And I painted it. If you can see him in person, it's a lot nicer, but I painted all the detail and the shadowing. I enjoyed it.
But you mapped it out first with a drawing.
I had to, yes, build the diorama, and it still isn't finished. It was just mocked up.
And another thing that he did, that he and his brother did, was models, car models.
Cars, that's part of it.
We did model shows.
Went from Hot Wheels to enjoying Hot Wheels as a little kid to wanting to build the model cars. Now I feel like a big kid that gets to work on really big model cars.
What'd you say?
I've worked on these cars since I was a teenager. First started 17, 18. I've grown a lot since the first few jobs I did. You know, there were wrinkles or little air bubbles and stuff I glued, and stuff was crooked maybe. You just keep learning. And each time I did a job, I would always look for my flaws and note it to myself, like, well, I need to do better next time. And better, and better, and better. And I'm still like that. I can't lose that mindset of wanting to make it better and better.
I showed them the video, one of the last videos you posted of that Impala that's in the barn right now, that's in a million pieces. It's a lot. It seems overwhelming to do a job like that.
Yeah, if you get into anything that's really large, you have to look for what works for you. And what works for me is taking things in small sections. So I'll do seats, put them to the side. I'll do the door panels, put them to the side. I spend a lot of time cleaning. You know, a lot of that. Actually, my first job I had working on cars was detailing them, washing them.
Yeah, I did that.
Simple as that. And from that, I was learning the stereo, how to hook up stereos. And from that, I learned a little bit about paint, a little bit about mechanics, changing brakes. I mean, you drive a car, I recommend, especially all you guys, to be able to change your oil and your brakes. Any grown man, I believe, you know, most of them don't, it's half and half, that should be able to do some simple maintenance to their vehicles.
I mean, there's certainly that feeling of like putting hard work into something and having that feeling, that pride feeling that
Yes, it's gratifying.
you actually took a lot of work. You put in a lot of work to do something other than like, not really trying and still getting something not kind of satisfactory out of it.
Well, take something that's all rusted, and I mean, what are some things you found in vehicles that have been mice, snakes? Didn't you get a snake in one?
A snake, and
Was
mine.
that you? Hold on, go back.
Yeah, that was him in the front. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was Devin.
Blood, Devin.
Little dude.
I did it.
I still have this truck. I'm actually tearing this. This was probably 15 years ago. Yeah, he was about one. And I was trying to sell that truck back then. And I'm glad it didn't sell, because I'm tearing it all back apart. It's my personal truck. I put my own stuff to the side and worked on other people's vehicles for the last 25 years. And the reason I got into it was to fix my own vehicle up.
Now,
That was a customer that saw the Transformer logos on my personal truck. He said, "Man, I'd like some of that in my interior." So, you know, we all share ideas.
yeah.
Everything that you see on these, someone else has done something like it too. you find yourself getting aggravated or overwhelming, you gotta put something down and come back to it, take a break. I found myself in that position many times.
And like you said, Blake, there's something really satisfying about taking something that's all worn out, rusted, and making it like new.
Especially
Again.
when the owner of it is smiling from ear to ear and so happy on the job you've done. It's almost a better feeling than getting the paycheck or, for the job. As long as the good Lord's providing and you have what you need, and on top of it, if you get to do what you enjoy, what's there to complain about?
That you had in your childhood that you use in your work.
I expressed a few of them from the art class and drawing, the model car stuff that she had mentioned, just learning how to put something together, learning all the parts of a car, the model cars, building them helped me know what a differential is and the engine parts, because they were all listed on the instruction books. So just knowing what I'm working on, I think you can really call that a skill. That's some knowledge I had as a kid that didn't know I would need ahead of time.
You know, read yours.
What is the most challenging?
The most challenging thing about it would be probably right in the middle when you got everything tore apart and it is overwhelming, and having to regroup yourself to remember either how it went back together or being able to organize things to where it's not a mess in front of you and making you confused about it. And it's really, it becomes simple. Anything that's challenging is only challenging ahead of time before you do it. Once you do something over and over, it becomes easier and easier.
What do you like most about your work?
That feeling at the end that Blake was trying to express of the gratification, and I get that same feeling in a smaller level from when I would even cut my grass. I hated to cut the grass, but when it was all done, it was nice and level. It's like, it's appeasing to the eyes or whatever. A lot of people compliment me on my work, and I don't take compliments well, so I don't do it for people to pat me on the back, say, hey, good job. It's like, it makes me feel awkward. I enjoy it, keep doing it, and I'm thankful and blessed that people want me to do so much. Earlier it fell into my lap through a friend of my father's. He just started doing the upholstery, and randomly come over one day, had a seat in the back of his truck he had finished, and it grabbed my curiosity. I was like, I wanted to see it, check it out, ask him about it. He said, well, why don't you come up here and learn, come up here and see if you like it. So I did, and stuck with it.
What sort of things did you learn growing up that have supported your vocation?
That one.
Yeah. Values, strengths, subjects in school, stuff like that.
touched on that.
Subjects in school would be the art stuff, mathematics. Integrity? I don't know how I learned that if I have integrity. I don't know. I've had people tell me I have integrity. Integrity is meaning you stick with something and you don't turn back on it. You keep pushing through.
Honest.
Honesty, to be honest with people. It comes back. I remember taking a console apart, finding a $100 bill in there. I had two decisions. I could not let the customer know and put it in my pocket, or I could give it back to the customer, and that helped him pay for his check. So, what's going to make you be able to sleep at night? It's going to come back on you.